Two countries that are both immigrant-friendly, both settler colonies that speak English, and both have been welcoming immigrants for a long, long time. Australia and Canada. And in today's video, I'm going to compare these two countries because they're openly giving out PR and I want you to make the best choice for yourself. So without much further ado, let's begin. Hello and namaste, my name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with me and for watching my content. If you find this video informative, please don't forget to hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel and stay updated. And if you're a regular viewer, tight hugs because I'm so glad that you've landed on a video again. In today's video, like I mentioned, I'm going to discuss Australia and Canada. We're going to compare both these countries on 4 factors. Apart from this, I'll also give you the source of my data and how you can get started on your PR journey. But first question, why am I doing this? So let me take you a little back in time and we're going to land in 2017, 2018. This is when I was thinking of moving outside of the US. I hadn't told my husband yet. I was just doing my research. In that period, I did not know that Canada has express entry. So I was only looking up Europe and Australia was giving out PR even then. So I was considering Australia seriously. In 2018, early 2018, I got to know that Canada also gives out PR, and that's when I did a comparison of these two countries. That comparison really helped me, and I hope that today's comparison will help you. Which brings me to my next pointer, which is what is the source of my data? So I'd recently watched a video of someone comparing Canada with another country that they live in. And because they were living in that country, they of course had a lot of info about the country they were living in. But for Canada, they said that they spoke to a few friends. Well, here's the problem. Whether it's me or any other creator, I always urge that you follow only government data because individual experiences are anecdotal. And so for my video today, I've taken only the government data. So for Canada, my source is StatCan, which is the statistics wing of the government of Canada. And for Australia, it is the Australian Statistics Bureau. And how do I know that this data is correct? First up, this is government data. It's collected through various sources and not all of those can be controlled by the government. Second, most of this data is generally either collected by the federal government or it is collected to be sent to organizations like World Economic Forum, UN. So there's a lot of credibility in the data that is available. And third, these are not individual experiences, so they are definitely not anecdotal. My comparison today will be on 4 grounds. We're going to compare the cost of PR. We're also going to compare the number of jobs or open vacancies that are available in both these countries. We're going to compare taxes. And we're going to compare median income. So drum rolls please as we enter round 1 of Canada versus Australia. When it comes to cost of PR, in Canada, you can expect the cost to be anywhere between 1.5 to 2 lakhs. In Australia, the cost would be somewhere around 3 to 4 lakhs. Keep in mind that the Australian immigration is a little more complicated than the Canadian immigration. I got a sense of it when I was looking up the Australian PR for myself, and now I have an established team which has over 7 years of experience in doing Australian immigration and Canadian immigration, and I know for a fact that Australian immigration is a little more complicated. But what I didn't know is that the Australian immigration is also a little more expensive. If you're starting your journey of applying for PR or any work visa, job seeker visa, any underrated visa to move abroad, I highly recommend that you take help of some professionals who can first tell you if you're eligible or not. That's one of the reasons why I started Globalogy, because I knew that many agents in the market are just telling people, no, you'll definitely get a PR, no, you'll definitely move to Canada, no, you'll definitely go to Australia. But that wasn't happening for majority of the people. If you are interested in either moving to Canada or Australia, please reach out to Globalogy. Check your eligibility, see if you're eligible, and then take the call. Do not pay up money just because some agent is saying that it is possible, it'll happen. This is an expensive purchase for yourself, for you and your life. We'll talk about Globalogy more towards the end of this video, but for now, when I compare costs in Canada and costs in Australia, just for the PR, not cost of living, then Canada clearly wins. So the first round goes to Canada. Now let's move on to round 2, which is comparing the number of job vacancies in these two countries. And for a moment, I want you to take a seat back and guess who you expect to win. Well, I honestly was surprised at the numbers. I looked at the ASB numbers, which is what Australia was giving out, and I looked at the StatCan numbers, which is what Canada was giving out. I did expect the Australian numbers to be lower than Canada because I know that it's a smaller economy, but I did not expect the numbers to be less than half of what is available in Canada. Yes, that's true. In August 2023, about 390k jobs were open in Australia, as opposed to Canada having a consistent 800k, 850k, almost in that range in every quarter. The Australian numbers are also a quarterly figure, so I did not expect the number to be this low in Australia. I was taken aback by this. But here's what I didn't like in the Canadian data. They did not break it up according to industry, which Australia had done very well. So I'm going to pop up a screenshot, or I'll leave a link somewhere down below for you to see the Australian data compared to the Canadian data. I'm just going to flash it on the screen for you right now. So please go check this out. Australia also lets you know which field is it seeing maximum shortage in. But irrespective of whichever fields the jobs are in, just given the size of the economy, the number of jobs that are open, round 2 goes to Canada again. Now let's compare these countries in round 3, which is on the basis of taxes. And I request that you take a guess again, because I was doing the same thing just to see where I land with my own expectations, and man, did I not do well with that. So I expected the Australian and Canadian taxes to be slightly similar. They're not very different in history. These countries always kind of together, similar culture, similar history. So I did expect the taxes to be almost at par, but I was surprised. The Australian taxes are much lower than Canadian taxes. In some parts of Australia, you might end up paying half in taxes or even lesser. During my research, I also came across an article that was written in 2019 that compared the tax competitiveness of Canada versus Australia and how Australia was a clear winner. And while you might be sitting and saying, oh yeah, taxes don't matter to me, they really do. Because when you move as an immigrant, taxes are a very big burden on your income. You don't really have anything in the country that you're moving to. So the more that you can save in terms of your savings and in terms of taxes, all of that goes towards building your own assets. So for round 3, in terms of tax competitiveness, our clear winner is Australia. And finally, let's move on to round 4, which is comparing median income of Australia and Canada. And let's see who wins. Again, I ask that you take a guess because I did the same thing. And here I was correct. They are almost at the same numbers. So we're going to discuss the numbers right now. In terms of USD, Canadian median income is $69,000 and Australian median income is $59,000. Just so that you know, median income is the actual average income of any person in the country. So if the median income of Australia is $59,000, half of the Australian population earns less than $59,000 and half of the Australian population earns more than the $59,000. This is the exact median, meaning the mean of the population. Median income is generally important to understand the context of what an average person could earn in any country. And if we compare the clear winner of round 3 in taxes, which is Australia, your in-hand income in Australia is going to be much higher than what you will be getting in-hand in Canada. So for the purposes of this video, I'm only using 4 pillars to do this comparison, but you can also put together a lot of your other priorities in life. For example, how soon do you want to get to citizenship, if at all you want to change your citizenship? How far do you want to stay from your home country? Like for example, I'm from India and Australia is not too far from India as opposed to Canada, which is slightly further away. Compared to Australia, not very far, but still slightly further away. The timing difference between India and Canada and Australia and Canada is also significantly different. But for me personally, Canada worked out for various reasons, most importantly being that I was in the US. And it never made sense for me to ship all my stuff all across the world and move to Australia. I did have a lot of other priorities ironed out, and for me, obviously, Canada made much more sense, but your priorities could be different. So if you are making a pick between Canada and Australia, first up, contact Globalogy. I'll leave a link to the form below, or I'll put the contact info of the sales team so you can get in touch with them, send them your documents, send them your info, determine your eligibility, and then take a call. The good thing is that if you are a strong candidate, both these countries are more than willing to welcome you. And on that note, this video has come to an end. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you found this video informative. If you want me to compare any other 2 countries, let me know in the comments below and I will do that for you. If you have any other questions related to Canada or Australia, please reach out to Team Globalogy or put your thoughts down in the comments. And lastly, to show your support, like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, please take good care of yourself. Stay safe. Namaste.